Today we're checking out some stamps that really you gotta double check. So these are stamps I'll be double checking on and stuff. This first one here is actually, it's like the old wax papers. Zoomed in too much for it. It's really hard to see, but it's like the old wax paper. You know, very flimsy, very thin. But there was a time in history where you seen some of these. I had some more once in an old video a few years back. Oh, I think it goes this way. It almost looks like there's a little girl or something in there, or someone holding something. Oh, it goes this way. Isn't that something? So it goes this way, but the writing, because it looked like a bunch of T's, so I turned it the other way. Well, isn't that an interesting one? So if you've seen any of these before, by all means. Where did it come from, and what country is this one from? I know I shouldn't be touching it. I didn't think I'd have to pick it up and turn it. See, I thought this way because of some of the T's, but... Huh. So you figure out which way this is supposed to go. Very interesting piece, for sure. Okay, now the next one beside it. Look at that. It's got L and E in the upper corners, and then E and L in the lower corners. And it's a 1 penny. And we know this one's really old. It just says postage. 1 penny. It does not say USA. It does not say anything else. Just postage, 1 penny, but it has the L's and the E's in the corners. So I believe this is something worth checking out. Okay, now the next one is a couple of yellows. Mako. Now, some of them, when they started using the yellow dyes, used it just very limited time because the yellow just wasn't coming out good. You know, but then you'll find some of those that were yellow that are worth a lot. So here's a couple of yellows. Really not showing the picture nicely. Okay. Then we come down to this one here. Look at that. Where it has numbers. UT3346. That is really, it's Italiana. But to have the numbers at the bottom, that's what makes it different. Because you do see this picture in other stamps and everything, but not with numbers at the bottom. So that I found very different. So I need to check that one out a little bit more. Now this other one here, you wouldn't think was very different. But there's two things that make me want to check this one out a little bit more. If you notice on the top there, there's like an E or a 3 backwards. And then at the bottom right here, you see an S. So you have a 3 and an S. If you turn it around, that 3 kind of looks a little bit like it might be a 5, but it's more 3. And a lot about this picture is a little questionable. Very different, because if you pick it this way and everything, it's almost like the picture should be up this way, because it almost looks like there's a head, but maybe it isn't. Just a body of water. Do you see when you put it this way? It's like a 3 or whatever. I don't know, just different. And then that S. So I just wonder if the S and this 3 are errors that should not be on this stamp. So if you know anything about that, by all means, leave it in a comment. Now this one here, this next one, this is different. Okay, you got one of the stamps happen to be put on upside down, the other one's the right side up. But what really makes this interesting to me is what's on his head. Is that the way their crowns were or whatever? But I've never seen them like that before. Maybe I just run into a good batch or a different batch or whatever. But it's actually put on this paper, so I don't know if this paper is supposed to mean anything. I don't know if it goes with it, but it was on there. I don't know what this paper is supposed to represent. Okay, but here are the two stamps for that one. A40. I don't think the stamps are that old, but they are interesting. Okay, so I think the most interesting ones are these two top ones right here. These are the two I feel that are of great interest. What do you think? Maybe not so much the one that's like the old-time wax paper. It was a little thinner than today's, a little more rugged, stronger, but that's what that reminds me of. But the 1 penny, postage 1 penny. Does not say USA, does not say Italiana, doesn't say anything. Just L and E in the corners. So if you know anything about these stamps, by all means, leave it in a comment. Always willing to learn some more. I mean, everything's learning. And now with more people collecting stamps and everything, this will be beautiful. So if you leave a comment, you're educating a number of people. So I thank you in advance very much. Alrighty. Bye-bye now. Be sure to share.